The fateful day of the 30th of July, in the early dark hours, nature staged a macabre dance on two sleepy villages in Kerala, which is often called God's own country because of its rich biodiversity hotspots. Within a few minutes, around 200 households were wiped out in what can be termed as the biggest ever landslide in the state of Kerala's history. The landslides were the worst disaster to hit the state since the 2018 floods, which killed more than 400 people. The disaster struck in Wayanad district's Mundakai and Churalmala areas, situated in the lap of the Vellarimala hill range in the western Ghats, surrounded by tea and cardamom estates. Two landslides struck Wayanad at about 1 a.m. and then at 4:10 a.m. Massive landslides caused by heavy rains hit the villages of Mundakai, Churalmala, Attamala and Nulpura. The fury of water was so fierce that many could not even get out of their houses in time. The tragedy took over 400 lives, leaving more than 500 injured, while several are still feared missing. According to the Agricultural Department, 310 hectares of agricultural land have been destroyed in the Churalmala, Attamala and Mundakai areas. The woman staff member of a private hospital in Wayanad, identified as Neetu Jojo, probably alerted the emergency services about the natural disaster first, according to reports. But unfortunately, her fight to stay alive ended before rescuers could reach her. The Churalmala bridge had washed away, leading to further delays in the rescue efforts. ISRO's National Remote Sensing Center released satellite images showing that 86,000 square meters of land had simply slipped out of place. Within 7 days, Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund received over 53.5 crore rupees, nearly 54 crore rupees through donations towards the relief and rehabilitation of the landslide victims in Wayanad. The last time Kerala had witnessed such devastation was during the 2018 floods that claimed over 430 lives and affected over 5.5 million people. Meanwhile, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to visit the landslide-affected sites in Wayanad on the 10th of August. And that's according to the state of Kerala's Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Now, here is a day-to-day narration of what happened in Wayanad from day 1 to day 11. Now, extremely heavy rain came down early on the 30th of July, and it triggered landslides in the hilly district of Wayanad in northeastern Kerala. The soil already saturated after 2 weeks of rainfall. It was forecast that 64 to over 200 millimeters of rain would fall on the 29th of July, but Wayanad received 200 millimeters and another 372 millimeters in the next 24 hours till the morning of the 30th of July. The first landslide was reported in Mundakai town around 1:30 a.m. The second one struck Churalmala 3.5 kilometers away at around 4:10 a.m. Sleeping villagers were caught off guard. Some fled, but others were not so lucky. Swollen water bodies changed course, flowing through hamlets, and boulders rolled down, wreaking havoc. Many were trapped in houses, with roads flooded and bridges swept away. Rescue teams comprising of Army, Navy, Air Force, NDRF, police and firefighters began search and rescue operations to look for survivors. Now, addressing the Rajya Sabha, Union Home Minister Amit Shah on the 31st of July said that the Kerala government was given an early warning on the 23rd of July and again on the 24th of July, a week before the devastating landslides in Wayanad. Till then, at least 150 had been killed. Amit Shah said that 9 NDRF teams were sent to Kerala in advance, but alleged negligence on the part of Pinarayi Vijayan government for failing to evacuate people in time.
23 जुलाई को केरल सरकार को अर्ली वार्निंग भारत सरकार की ओर से दी गई थी। 23 जुलाई को 7 दिन पहले, फिर 24 को गई, फिर 25 को गई, 26 तारीख को मान्यवर ये कहा गया कि 20 सेंटीमीटर से ज्यादा वर्षा होगी, भारी वर्षा होगी, लैंडस्लाइड होने की संभावना है, मड भी रस होकर आ सकता है और लोग इसके अंदर दबकर मर भी सकते हैं। मैं कुछ कहना नहीं चाहता था मान्यवर, मगर भारत सरकार की अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम पर सवाल किए गए, इसलिए मैं कहता हूं प्लीज लिसन अस, मत चिल्लाइए, प्लीज रीड इट। जो वार्निंग भेजा है उसको पढ़िए जरा। और इस देश में कई राज्य सरकारें ऐसी हैं जिन्होंने इस प्रकार की वार्निंग का उपयोग कर कर जीरो कैजुअलिटी डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट किया है। मैं ओडिशा राज्य सरकार के लिए भी, उस वक्त हमारी नहीं थी, नवीन बाबू की थी, हमने 7 दिन पहले साइक्लोन का अलर्ट भेजा, सिर्फ एक व्यक्ति मारा गया, वो भी गलती से मारा गया। गुजरात सरकार को हमने साइक्लोन का अलर्ट 3 दिन पहले भेजा, एक पशु भी नहीं मरा सर। मगर मैं बड़ी विनम्रता के साथ कहना चाहता हूं कि आप जो घिसे पिटे शब्द यहां लेकर आए हैं और डिमांड ही करते जा रहे हैं, अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम है। भारत सरकार ने 14 के बाद अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम के लिए 2000 करोड़ रुपया खर्च किया है और इसको साझा किया जाता है मान्यवर। 7 दिन पहले हर राज्य को सूचना भेजी जाती है और वो सूचना साइट पर सबके लिए भी उपलब्ध है, मान्य सांसदों के लिए भी उपलब्ध है। मगर कुछ लोगों को है कि यहाँ की साइटें खोलते ही नहीं है, विदेश की ही खोलते हैं। तो अब विदेश में तो इसकी अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम आएगी नहीं, हमारी साइट देखनी पड़ेगी मान्यवर।
Now, on day 3, Indian Army personnel constructed a 120-foot-long Bailey Bridge within 31 hours to connect the worst affected areas of Mundakai and Churalmala. With a weight capacity of 24 tons, 140 personnel from Madras Engineer Group began construction of the bridge at 9 a.m. on the 31st of July, which was completed by the next day on the 1st of August. That is. Materials for building the bridge were transported to Kannur in 2 aircraft from Delhi and Bengaluru. They were then taken to Wayanad in trucks. The Indian Army tested its structural integrity by driving an ambulance and later a military truck on it. Leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha and former Wayanad MP Rahul Gandhi and Congress Party General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi visited the landslide-affected Churalmala. Expressing his emotions, Rahul Gandhi told reporters, and I quote, "I feel how I felt when my father died."
I feel how I felt when my father died. That I've seen so many people. I remember what I felt when my father died. And here people have not just lost a father. They've lost the whole family, entire family, brother, sister, mother, father. So I know what I felt, and this is much worse than that. And it's not one person who's feeling it, it's thousands of people who are feeling it. So it's very, very sad. And I think we all owe these people respect, affection, and we should all be standing with them. And I'm very proud that a lot of people are standing with the people of Wayanad. In fact, the whole nation's attention is towards Wayanad, and I'm sure that the whole nation is going to help the people of Wayanad.
On day 4 since the tragedy struck Wayanad, 4 people were rescued from a house in Wayanad on the 2nd of August. As search operations accelerated with the construction of a key bridge that helped transport heavy equipment to the affected area. The rescuers found that the family, comprising 2 males and 2 females, was isolated after the landslide cut off their house from the rest of the region. Kerala's health department confirmed over 200 deaths and around 300 missing as the incident entered its fourth day. Our reporter was present on ground zero when the Bailey Bridge was being constructed.
This is the Bailey Bridge that has been made by the army right now for all the operations that are going on in this particular place. Where I am is Churumala. Before I start telling you about this place, let me show you this particular bridge that you can see on my right hand side, which my camera person is showing you. This was the first bridge that was used to do all the operations that were going on here, rescue operation. And this is the second worst hit site in this entire incident, which is Churumala. You can see the devastation in this place. Just my camera person, if he just pans around, all you can see is an empty barren land filled with boulders and a lot of mud all across this place, you can see. Now this is how the devastation has happened in this particular place. Now that is the route of the river or the tributary of the river that is flowing from there. And from what I've learned from local is that this was not supposed to be like this. This was a township over here, and there used to be houses, and there used to be schools, and there used to be a lot of people over here, and there was no scope for a river to come here. But because of the landslide and because of the cloudburst that happened, it burst open there and the water flew here. Now this is on my left hand side where you can see a JCB working around is a school where they had put a lot of children over there thinking that this would be very safe for them. But from what we learned is that also got swept away. Now this is one particular spot which I'm telling you about. But like this entire place is filled with such spots where people have lost their lives. And this particular bridge, that makeshift bridge that was made by the army is for rescue operations like this where big boulders and big materials are not able to move. So they have placed this bridge. Now you can see this is happening here. Now this particular place, if I tell my camera person to turn around and show you where this particular spot, where you can see a lone JCB. Now there used to be 3 temples over there. One Shiva temple, one Ganesha temple is what I have been told. But today you can see that it's just ruins that is left over there and nothing else. So this is how the devastation was in this particular place from where we are. Now this particular JCB was able to come through this is because of this bridge that was made. Till yesterday, this bridge was not there and it was very difficult for them to have to keep the movements around. But now because of the bridge, they are now able to move across to other denser places where rescue operation is still going on. But with the devastation that we've seen, with the sludge that we've seen, the boulders that we've seen, it is getting difficult for the rescue operations to continue their work because they have to dig up the entire place. They have to dig sand close to 10 feet to 8 feet to get bodies out. So as of now in this area, they feel that they've done their kind of work and they are moving forward to other places where they feel that there are more bodies or more people that can be rescued over there.
Despite a challenging 5-day search operation by various forces, over 200 people remained untraced. The death toll touched 357, with 18 more bodies being recovered, including 16 from the Chaliyar River. In a daring attempt, Kerala's Forest Department officials managed to rescue 4 toddlers and their parents belonging to a tribal community who had been stranded in a cave atop in the aftermath of the Wayanad landslides. A 4-member team led by the Kalpeta Range Forest Officer K. Hashish rescued the tribal family, which included 4 kids aged between 1 and 4. The rescue mission took 4.5 hours. 2 rescue workers who ventured deep into the forest near the Mundakai region to search for and recover bodies were left stranded near the Suchipara waterfalls. They were airlifted to safety by the Indian Air Force helicopter. Search and rescue operations entered the 6th day in landslide-devastated Wayanad, even as the chances of finding survivors remained bleak. The number of missing persons had touched 206 till now. Joint teams of the Army, Navy, Air Force, NDRF, Kerala Police, Fire and Rescue Departments, volunteers and local guides fanned out across the wide swathe of Mundakai, Churalmala, Punchirimattam and Attamala localities leveled by the catastrophic landslides that hit the Vaitiri taluk.
हमारे पीछे जो आप लोग देख रहे हैं और ये ऑटोज देख रहे हैं, ये सब कर्नाटका के कुशाल नगर से गाड़ी चलाते हुए कम से कम 25 ऑटो ड्राइवर्स अपना एक एसोसिएशन बना के प्रे फॉर वायनाड करके कावेरी ऑटो स्टैंड के पास से इन लोग सब आए हैं। और इनकी ऑटोज में आप अभी देख सकते हैं हर एक प्रकार का रिलीफ मटेरियल है, इसमें कपड़े हैं। और अगर दूसरी ऑटो में जाएंगे तो आप देख सकते हैं बिस्किट्स, टूथपेस्ट, साबुन, कॉफ़ी पाउडर, हर एक चीज़, राइस, ये सब चीज़ उन लोग उठा के कम से कम 140-150 किलोमीटर चलाते हुए एक 25 लोग आए हुए हैं टू शो द स्पिरिट ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी, टू शो द स्पिरिट ऑफ ह्यूमन स्पिरिट और रेजिलियंस। आप लोग जो वहाँ से निकले हैं क्या सोच के निकले, आप लोगों को अलाउ कर देंगे?
हमने यही सोच के आए थे कि उनको जो भी नुकसान हुआ है उनको मदद करना था, वही उम्मीद थी हमारी। मगर हम ये सोच के भी आए थे कि हाँ ये छोड़ेंगे भी या नहीं, ये भी एक डाउट था हमारे ऊपर।
कॉन्फिडेंट था लेकिन
फिर भी
एक रिस्क लेके आया है। देख सकेंगे अभी इधर परमिशन लेने जा रहा है, परमिशन मिल गया तो अच्छा है। हम लोग को अभी सर ने बोला है 4 गाड़ी का परमिशन ले लो बोल के, जाके रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे जितना हुआ उतना।
आप लोग क्या क्या सामान लाए
सर जिसके
एक एक करके बात
खाने के
जो भी उनका इस्तेमाल की चीजें सब लाए, जो एक इंसान के लिए जीने के लिए जो चीज चाहिए होता है वो सब कुछ हम लाए।
तो ये सब आप लोग अरेंज कैसे किए, कौन डिसाइड किया? क्योंकि आप लोग सब अलग अलग।
हमारे एक ऑटो की यूनियन है, तो हमारे ऑटो की यूनियन कम से कम एक 4000 तक ऑटो है, सबने कलेक्ट किया और यूनियन से भी कलेक्ट किया। हमने भी हमारा जेब से निकल के प्राइवेट ले कर।
They are not able to tell it, but you can understand from their expressions, from their emotions कि वो यहाँ क्यों आए हैं और उनका उद्देश्य क्या है। उनको आइडिया भी नहीं था कि उनको हेल्प हो पाएगा या नहीं हो पाएगा, वो कर पाएंगे भी नहीं कर पाएंगे, ये ऑटोज आगे जा पाएंगे भी नहीं। बट एक ह्यूमैनिटी स्पिरिट के साथ, एक कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ इन लोग चले हैं। आई विश देम ऑल द लक। थैंक यू, आप जो मदद कर रहे हैं एक बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है, सोचना भी बड़ी चीज़ है उसके लिए। और आप लोग तो यहाँ तक आ चुके हैं, तो hats off to your human spirit. These are the autos that have come from Karnataka, from the Coorg district, from Kushal Nagar. And as you can see, it's not just one auto, close to 8 to 10 autos and 25 boys with the intention that how much ever we can help, we will do. And that is the Karnataka flag that is flying for them. And that is their emotions and that is their feel to be here and be as help as they can for the people who've lost their lives in Wayanad.
As the search for landslide victims progressed through to its 7th day, 6 more bodies were recovered in Wayanad. 5 from Wayanad and 1 from Nilambur, in fact. 150 bodies and partial remains of another 181 victims were recovered so far. 31 unidentified victims and body parts of 158 were cremated in joint funerals held in Pudumala. 8 unclaimed bodies were cremated here with all faith funeral rites. On Sunday night, the official death toll figure was at 222. Within 7 days, Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund received nearly 54 crore rupees towards relief and rehabilitation of the landslide victims. Our reporter was present at the spot from where the landslide started.
The devastation is something that cannot be put in words. The losses of life and the people that have got washed away from here is something that words cannot describe. But what I'm going to show you here is a bird's eye view of the entire landslide that took place in Wayanad. Now, where I am standing is Mudukuttai, and where my umbrella is pointing, where my camera person is showing you. If you're able to see that visual, that is the center of the entire landslide. That is where that brown patch that you can see among the hills, that is the patch which broke off. And from there we saw how the landslide came running down that stream. From there, this is the nearest village where we are, Mundukuttai. That village over there near the hill is Panjarimuttai. From there we came all the way till here, and you can see this is the pathway of that landslide. This is how it went, cutting across boulders, cutting across trees, houses, schools, colleges, and mosque and religious places, and through here. And this is the stream that you will see, and from here, this particular stream of the water that we are seeing, the river water, is now flowing to Churumallai. Now, this is your bird's eye view of the entire devastation that took place in Wayanad.
The search and rescue operations in the Wayanad landslide, which killed more than 394 people, entered its final stages on the 8th day. Army, NDRF personnel, police, dog squad, forest department and Navy officials resumed the operation on the morning of the 6th of August. The focus of the rescue operation now was concentrated on the Chaliyar River basin and the areas that were inaccessible. A special team of 12 personnel from the Army and Forest Department was deployed for the special search operation. The mission was delayed due to the bad weather conditions. By now, the death toll in the devastating landslides reached 413, with 152 people still missing even as the rescue operations entered the 9th day. The over 1,000 strong rescue team comprising personnel from the Defence Forces, NDRF, SDRF, police, fire services and volunteers began searches early on Wednesday morning in the 4 worst affected areas in Churalmala, Vellarimala, Mundakail and Punchirimadam. The special team was assigned to conduct search operations at Wayanad's Sunrise Valley. The special team consisting of 6 trained army personnel, 4 special operations group of Kerala police, 2 forest officers and a dog squad left for Sunrise Valley of Suchipara waterfalls in Wayanad to carry out a search operation. In a heartwarming gesture, people from various walks of life gathered in the Wayanad district to bid farewell to the Indian Army personnel for their heroic efforts in the recent landslide rescue operations. The soldiers who braved nature's terror to save lives were met with an overwhelming outpouring of gratitude from the local community and beyond. The Kochi Defence Public Relations Officer expressed deep appreciation for the bravery and selflessness displayed by these soldiers. On day 11, 4 more bodies were recovered from a forest area in the Suchipara Kandanpara region during the joint search operations conducted by rescue forces and landslide survivors. According to rescue personnel, besides the 4 bodies, a leg was found stuck in a tree. The bodies are found in a decomposed state and had to be airlifted. The personnel also said that the dense forest cover hampered the drone search